Hey, have you subscribed to the channel yet? And don't forget to like the video. That way you can stay up to date with all the incredible stories we'll be sharing here. Let's go on this journey of curiosities together. Let's go.
Have you ever wondered when the first story about vampires came out? Before Dracula, before movies and series, long before the word vampire even existed, humanity already told stories about creatures that sucked the energy or blood of the living. In this video, we will discover where these legends came from, who was the first officially recorded vampire in history, and how this myth evolved over time. The idea of beings returning from the dead to suck the life out of the living is not new. In fact, this type of creature appears in several ancient cultures with different names, but with similar characteristics. In Mesopotamia, we have Lilitu, a female spirit who attacked men in their sleep and newborn children. In ancient Greece, Lamias and Impuses appeared, demonic female figures who seduced men and then sucked their life force. In China, people believed in Zhengxi, undead beings that jumped out to attack the living and absorb their energy. In India, there were the Vitalis spirits that possessed corpses and roamed at night. In ancient Rome, the Striges were nocturnal beings with a thirst for blood. These creatures were not called vampires, but the fear they represented was the same: the fear of the unknown, of death, and what can return after it. Despite ancient legends, the first officially recorded story of a vampire as we know it today occurred in 1725. In the village of Kisilova, in present-day Serbia, this is the case of Petar Blagojevich. Petar died suddenly and was buried. However, just days after his burial, 9 people from the village died mysteriously, and they all reported that they had been visited by Petar at night. They said he tried to choke them or suck their blood. The population panicked. The Austrian authorities in the region were called and decided to exhume Petar's body. According to the official report, which still exists today, the body was found in surprising conditions. Pink skin, hair, and nails grow, and fresh blood in the mouth. Convinced that they were dealing with a vampire, the residents drove a stake through the body's heart, and then they burned it. This is considered the first documented case of vampirism in official European records. It was this case, and similar ones, that occurred shortly after that gave rise to the use of the word vampire in Europe. The word began circulating in Austrian and German newspapers and official reports soon after Petar's case. The word is believed to have originated from the Slavic term vampire, which in turn may derive from ancient roots related to drinking. This moment marks the transition from folk legends to the modern concept of vampire. A corpse that returns to life, comes out of the tomb, and feeds on the living to maintain its existence. In the years following Petar's case, several similar reports emerged across Eastern Europe, especially in Serbia, Romania, Bulgaria, and Hungary. A real vampire panic began. People began to take precautions in burials. They buried the dead with stones or bricks in their mouths. They pierced their chests with stakes. They decapitated the corpse or even locked the coffins with chains, all to ensure that the dead man would not return. These practices weren't just superstition, they reflected a real collective fear, fueled by sudden deaths, epidemics, and the lack of scientific understanding of disease and decay. As fear of vampires spread through the villages of Europe, the myth began to enter literature. The first modern literary vampire appeared in 1819 with the work The Vampire, written by John Polidori. The character Lord Ruthven was elegant, seductive, and deadly, very different from the grotesque creatures of folklore. Then in 1897, the writer Bram Stoker immortalized the vampire in popular culture with the book Dracula. Count Dracula brought together all the elements that we today associate with the classic vampire: immortality, seduction, weakness to sunlight, aversion to crosses, and of course, the habit of sleeping in a coffin during the day and hunting for blood at night. But why did these stories arise? One explanation is the lack of medical knowledge at the time. Bodies that were exhumed a few days after death still appeared alive. The skin could be swollen, the reddish lips, hair, and nails seemed to have grown, and there could be blood flowing from the mouth. Today we know that this is all part of the natural decomposition process. But for the people of the time, it was proof that the dead person was not really dead. In addition, diseases such as rabies and tuberculosis which cause symptoms such as insomnia, sensitivity to light and blood loss, contributed to reinforcing the idea of energy-sucking nocturnal creatures. The vampire, therefore, was born as a supernatural explanation for events that science could not yet explain. Although the figure of the modern vampire is European, the concept of beings that feed on the energy of the living is global. In West Africa, there is the Asasabansim, a creature with iron teeth that lives in trees. In the Caribbean, the Sukoyant is an old woman who turns into fire and sucks blood at night. In Japan, the Nukakubi is a being whose head separates from its body and flies to attack. In South America, there are legends about vampire bats and entities that haunt the sick at night. The fear of the life-sucker is, in fact, one of humanity's most universal myths. Over time, vampires stopped being just monsters and began to represent more complex figures. Today they appear in books, films, series, and games. With several layers, some are cruel villains, others are cursed heroes, and there are even romantic or comic vampires. From Interview with the Vampire to Twilight, from Blade to Hotel Transylvania, the vampire continues to evolve. But its origins remain obscure, as the first vampire story wasn't born from a writer's imagination, but rather the oldest human fear, the fear of death and what can return after it. Stories about vampires were, and still are, a way of explaining the inexplicable, dealing with grief, illness, the unknown. And that's why, even with all our technology, the myth remains alive or half-live, in our books, on our screens, and in our nights. Did you like this story? So leave your like, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell for more legends and curiosities like this. See you in the next video. But beware of what prowls at night.